Go.
We're live? We're live.
Yes, we are live.
Hey guys, welcome to Level Up session 29 with ANDREI RIABOVITCHEV. I hope I said that good, because I practiced 5 minutes earlier. So yeah, welcome guys. We are here, me, Darek, and ANDREI.
Cool. Hi guys.
Hello.
Wojtek is not with us today because he has a fever, so he's feeling a bit ill. So hopefully, maybe he will join us a bit later, but he's, pray for him, okay?
Yeah.
So, hi ANDREI, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, hello. Hi everyone. Thanks for...
Live? We're live.
Yes, we are live.
Sorry.
Some of you guys have the video open, so...
okay.
Keep going.
Yeah, my name is ANDREI RIABOVITCHEV. I'm a concept artist working in the film industry, animation, and sometimes too on computer games stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I really love your work. If you haven't seen ANDREI's work, check it out. Go to Facebook and type his name, ANDREI RIABOVITCHEV's art, and you will find his art page on Facebook. He also has a blogspot, which is andreiriabovitchev.blogspot.co.uk. His work is amazing. I mean,
maybe Jonas, you can also show the people the work.
I will show some stuff. So if you can go to my screen. So this is ANDREI's blog, and he's just got an amazing style. Like traditional stuff, stuff like just really beautiful drawings, and so yeah, definitely check out his work. It's really nice, and here's some digital paintings that you can see. Just incredible compositions, incredible style, simplicity, all the good stuff. Yeah, so check it out. It's really nice, and follow him. And we're going to talk a little bit to ANDREI first about his experiences, and then he's probably going to do a demo for us. And as always, if you have a question for ANDREI, which he's happy to answer for you, you can go to the chat in the YouTube video and just type question in capitals, and then type your question, and that's it. And then we will pick them. And if we don't pick them, it's because we don't like them.
Yeah, feel free to put the questions, and we'll do our best. And probably also, ANDREI, if you want, you can also talk about what you are doing in this time while you will be working on your demo, and then we can also pick up the questions wherever you want us to do. So.
Yeah, until the people is not coming together yet, so I can start to draw, or I can tell what is how can I start my career as an artist, and then I can move.
Yeah, of course.
That would be great. I mean, I was actually planning to ask you a bit about how you got started in this business. I think a lot of people love to hear your story.
So, normally, like all of us artists, we are drawing from little age when I was small, and when I finished school, I moved to university, and my only education of art education was school for children. So I started the school for children when I was 6 years old, and I finished 10 years old. So it's not really much experience for when you on those kind of level of the age.
Mm-hmm.
And when I moved to University Moscow Forest University, so I will be in the future. I will be engineer of water transport, which is totally opposite of what I'm doing now. And then I've been in the army for 2 years. Everyone in Russia is basically, if you not like have flat foot or something, or heart problem, you need to serve in Russia. But luckily, I was an artist, so an official artist. So I practicing quite a lot, drawing propaganda posters and portraits of famous communist leaders and stuff like that. Then when I come back to Moscow to finish university, I finish it, and I've got dilemma what to do next. So it's always something happening in my life, and one of my friends said, "Oh, Andrei, you are drawing, you're artist. Can you let me introduce you to one person. He's just opened animation studio." So I have no portfolio, nothing, and I did some drawing for 1 week. I just did pencil drawings. Bring them. It's about 7 or 6 drawings. Bring them to director. Director like it, and he said, "Okay, you can start. Just trial for 1 week or 2 weeks." And I started trial, and basically the first day was horrible. I remember it's like now they give me small pencil, like literally like that. It's already wasn't used, and I did some rough in betweening. My first scene was from film made for Disney Channel called the film called, oh gosh, Wild Swans, or I think it's Wild Swans. And what is interesting, this film was dubbed by actress Sigourney Weaver. It's the star of Aliens. And but nothing to do with me, basically. I was like rough in between on a trial. And after 2 weeks, I find my supervisor and I ask her, what's going on? What next? I'm okay or not? Or what's happening? And she said, "Oh, no worries, you're already working." So that's my first job. And basically, it's about like more than 20 years, 22, 23 years ago. And there's nothing it was in that time was no computers. First two years when I worked in, it was no computers at all. Everything was done on paper, on celluloid. So the first they draw on a paper, do clean up, and then on the top they put some celluloid, draw on celluloid, coloring on celluloid, and then film it, everything.
Yeah.
After 2 years, I think it was first computer, we install some programs and stuff. We try to use computer for coloring screens, the shots, but it was very beginning of everything. So yeah, that's how I'm start to work as an artist.
That's interesting because I don't think I ever told you when we met, but I have a similar background, you know, more recent obviously, but I studied animation as well. So, and I drew everything on paper as well. And we were not drawing on cell anymore. So we were just in the phase of actually scanning the line drawings and then coloring them with the computer. And I actually colored in Photoshop. My first animation film I colored in Photoshop with a mouse. And it was just a nightmare coloring every frame with a mouse. I would just I would put the layer on multiply, and then I would just color with the mouse like every, you know, because I didn't know how to use the paint bucket or anything like that. It was such a nightmare. But yeah, and actually I remember seeing a lot of Russian animations in school. They showed us, maybe you know it, there's this one Russian animation film about a hedgehog.
Oh yes, Yes, I met this is one of my favorite directors in Russia. His name is Yuri Narstein, and his work is always amazing. His work is always something interesting.
Yeah.
And the Hedgehog in Folk or something.
Yeah.
It's exactly. Very. I've got a book. He signed it for my son.
Oh, nice.
The book of the Hedgehog in the Folk. He's I think he's working with his wife, and his wife she's an artist, so she do design and he directed everything. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always, I feel with Russian animation, there's always, you can really feel that Russia in it, you know, that sort of coldness and loneliness and like slight melancholic feel. It's always there, right? Like,
yeah.
There's no way of escaping it if you're raised in that country. Like, you can always trace it in the work somehow.
Yes.
It's
I bring with me actually two films. I work on it as an character designer. So I was involved in character design and production. There you go.
Ah, okay.
So its name is Knyaz Vladimir. So all of those characters I did. Basically, it's almost 100%, 95% is characters I've done for this film.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Yeah. And another one is Rulian Elf, they call. It's another film we did for Finland.
Okay.
Working with Finnish people, and they said that this film is in the Guinness record or something, book or Guinness book to like as a first animation or something with this film.
And then, so how did you get out of the scene there and get into like the big movie productions, because you worked on Harry Potter and a lot of big films? How did you transfer from sort of the small town life to being able to work on a global scale?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's when I working on these films, and that was like very intense with in internet. I just started to post it some work, and I find the friends around the world. And one of my friends, he said like, "Oh, come to London. It's very it will be very good if you came to London to work with us." And I started thinking about it. And my family is English, so my wife and my kids they're from England. We live in Russia together, but then we decided when my kids grew up and they go to school, we decided to move back to UK, and especially this my friend who said I will recommend you and stuff like that. So that's why I moved to UK, and my first work was at MPC, moving picture company, and I worked the first show called Wolfman. So I was working on a sequence of transformation when Benicio del Toro and they transformed it into the Wolfman. Yeah, so that's how I start my VFX work, and it was my first day again was horrible. Sorry, MPC, and because it's nothing wrong with MPC. It's just because me never work with Linux, and they've got like two systems, and yeah. So I forgot the first month. I even I don't know how, and everything is new, and I forgot even to make timesheet for my payment. So
Yeah.
I miss payment the first month.
Really? No one else told you to make your timesheets?
No, they told me, but I was like totally not just like I was like totally
Whatever.
like yeah. Not how.
My money. Well, you didn't work. Yes, I did. Timesheet says you didn't work.
Yeah. They helped me in the end, and but I miss like it's always like you need to be close your timesheet until the certain day. For example, if we in June, so it could be like 10th of June, and then they will pay you in 24th of June or something like that. Yeah, so I miss this 10th of June, and yeah. But it was fun. It was really fun to work, and again, I wasn't so skillful in Photoshop in the way of I use Photoshop as a painter, so I draw. So my first concept was drawing on a plate.
On paper.
Not on a paper, on a plate. So I got like a screenshot from scene.
Okay.
And then I just open in Photoshop and just paint on the top of Photoshop.
Yeah.
Sorry, on the top of screenshot. Yeah. Now I will use different technique probably. Maybe I straight away pick some photo, add some photo or something.
Yeah, we seen in your portfolio that you use a lot of various techniques, and I am also sure that drawing by hand and using pencils helped you in it's improving your line work, and you are still doing some sketches as you see on your blog.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, because you are. I don't want to sound very better or something, but you are from that generation that you start only with pencils. You didn't have the tablets or Photoshops.
Yeah.
And it is the way that is much more natural, I think, because I also started with pencils and normal drawings for all my life, and then switching to Photoshop, it was much more natural because in these days, in the modern days, a lot of people start mostly in Photoshop, and some of the basics are gone. They just use a lot of. It's obvious that the result matters, but it is really cool to have the drawing skills also, and I'm sure that it helps you. And as we can see, you can do this drawing sketches, and you can do some texture work, matte paint, and 100% painting in Photoshop. It doesn't matter for you because you do, and you made a lot in the past, so.
Yeah. It's important. It's important to. I totally agree. It's important to draw with traditional materials. It give you some different approach and different possibility to do something for yourself. For example, I imagine I working like my daily job was like photo bashing or something. So I just do photo bashing whole day, whole week, next week, another week. So I was it's exciting on the beginner, and then you kind of like go into this routine, and this routine started eating you. So I started. I bought some sketchbook, markers, markery, and then I started to draw in the train. So the first I just picked some newspaper, because when you're in UK you have morning newspaper called Metro, and in the evening they call Evening Standard or something. So I just read the newspaper through the articles, and then find some nice picture or nice photo, and just draw it in a sketchbook, just practicing, nothing like like super special. And then I find the fun, and then I decided to, like, for example, I like some rugby players because they looks like They are big, massive, dirty, and they cuddling each other like, you know, like a kids somehow. So I decided to draw like I did like series of drawing of rugby players. Then I did some serious other drawings, and the same time as a practice, because you can when you draw on a paper, especially markers, it's not like a pencil. Pencil you can erase, use rubber, and marker you can erase basically. So in this case you started organize yourself in a way of when you're drawing. So you, for example, you draw line first, and then you do like lighter shadows or something. So you and it give you very good practice to draw. After that, when you just draw on just one piece of paper, not like layers in Photoshop, when you draw in Photoshop, it's easier for you because you just like start to draw and very quickly, and then just another layer draw, another layer draw.
Yeah.
So
I think that both of the techniques, also the traditional as well as the digital, has the cons and pros, because some of the things can be done much easier with Photoshop for sure. But if you know the basics, doing some works on, you know, on paper, it's also more natural for you. But I also noticed if you paint with normal paints, it can sometimes occur some randomly pretty nice effect that you don't accomplish with the Photoshop, because in the Photoshop you have to be aware what you want to use. On the canvas, sometimes the paints are blended in the ways that you can't predict. So it's also very cool.
Yeah, I agree. For example, if you not just paint, if you use like one of my friend illustrator, he used to be paint on a photo paper with oil, and he did some texture somehow. He's just wobbly, literally wobbling photo paper. So which is I wouldn't say impossible, but it's very difficult to find this kind of approach of happiness something on your picture with Photoshop. But you can do you can try. It's a little bit more static, but it's sometimes something happening in Photoshop as well. If you just drop some picture on the top and then just do some filters and stuff, and sometimes it's just like, oh yeah, it's an interesting way of development. Yeah.
So I have the question regarding your drawing studies, because there are some questions already that take up that point. Did you draw or did you make your studies from the life, you know, like life models or still life, or it was done mostly from, you know, posters, photos?
Yeah, I do both. I use some of it depends which picture. If you show me picture, I'll tell you exactly. But for example, the kids what I'm drawing, my kids, my daughter or my son, I'm drawing from photo normally, because they have no passion to stay in long pose for 5 minutes even. You know, they're just
it's really tough.
That's why I always with my photo camera and just took the picture, and if I find some nice light or some nice expression, like some I love my kids. You know, it's incredible to watch them what they do, and then I draw them. For me it's like a practice at the same time. At the same time, it's a laugh because they are so cute.
Yeah. So you're doing many things at the same time. You're practicing art. You're enjoying watching your kids. And something.
Exactly. And I'm honestly I'm chill out. When I draw, I'm chill out. It's like meditation for me. Like my wife doing yoga, and she meditate for find relaxation. And for me, drawing, it's a relaxation. It's not a job. I mean, when you draw for yourself, like drawing something.
Were you working on big projects like Harry Potter or the Prometheus or some other movies, it was like you felt the pressure while working, or you still was very calm down? All the deadlines and all the that put the force on you. Like...
Yeah, when it's again it depends which person you are collaborate with, and but normally when you're just working, if it's job, it's normally is pressure on you always. So it's and when you became like a senior artist, the pressure is getting higher and higher. So for example, the junior artist could be working on one task like 2 days or 3 days. Senior artists just have only 2 hours or something, or just can you? I was asking many times, especially recently, more and more. They just like ask me, "Oh, can you just like pick 2 hours and do some variation of this kind of character or something?" And you do like all these quick sketches, quick something, just very in rush. And sometimes you just want to just relax and just finish and drawing. But yeah. But some tasks, again, it's depend how fast you find the way to do the job. That's important. For example, when I work on Harry Potter Voldemort death, so I was told that it will be Voldemort, and he will die. He's dying, and
spoiler alert.
yeah. And I remember I asked our director is Virginia. Hi, Virginia. And she told me she told me everything about that, and then I said, "Is there any ideas what you propose maybe?" And she said, "No, it's up to you." So in this way, it's easier to work, because it's when you do stuff. It's
yeah. So it really shows that it's really important the people that you work with. But what about maybe it was also in the previous session we asked our guest, it was like, what about if you have run out of ideas, or is it, did it happen that you were run out of ideas, or how do you deal with it? You just try to refresh your mind somehow, or?
Yeah, this question is quite often asking people, artists. So when I sometimes it's happening when I have like no idea. I don't know, like I got brief or I got something, and I just like sitting and I got no idea what to do, and or especially if you're tired or you've done something recently and then you just explode yourself on one job and then you've got another job. I'm going to internet and I type, for example, like disintegration of Lord Voldemort. So I type this, and then I put like a disintegration and some particles flying away or something, and then I type particles flying in the air, and then I've got like another bunch of pictures, and then cool. And then I can see, for example, the light, some interesting light working on the particles. So I type in light and particles, and I've got another bunch of images. And my ideas is growing and growing and growing and growing. Yes. And then I got like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then I find this explosion of mud somehow.
So sometimes it's just enough to see one scene or something, and you immediately have the ideas that coming to you.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. When you just start to search for references, you can find some ideas.
So your brain just starts going basically.
Yeah. if you just like if your head empty, don't start to draw or don't start to do anything, because
Yeah,
nothing good happening. It will be yeah, it will be not
sometimes I even think that research part is the one of the most influential, that you start before doing something. So you are researching from through your reference, or going from Flickr or some other page, and just type in something, and then you have the lot of amazing images and the ideas that are immediately bump in your head. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
okay. So Jonas, we have a lot of questions on chat. I don't know if we start to answer, if we start to read them, maybe just and if you feel comfortable
Well,
right now, you can just start showcasing your demo.
yeah, I can start to do my demo, and you can ask him questions. I can
Okay.
do demo and answer questions. Because where can I read the questions?
You can't. We can read them.
Okay. Yeah.
And we
Just don't bother and don't feel distracted by it, because it's a lot of the people are talking on the chat in the YouTube, so don't bother about it. Take care of it.
Right. Okay. So I will start. I will do some little demo. It's basically character and a little bit of VFX kind of stuff. I just show one of the approaches which could be handy for artists. So I do the screen share now.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So you're comfortable with answering questions while you draw, right?
Yeah, I can draw or I can stop drawing and answer questions.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be. Okay. I think it's fine for me.
Okay.
Cool.
Right.
There are a lot of questions from the very general and very technician ones. So maybe we can start with more general at first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can answer on general questions.
Okay, so maybe the first one is, because you were talking about drawing your kids and drawing people and things you see on the street. Yeah. Joseph asks, how do you build a visual library to draw other things like mechs, for example? Things that you don't really see in real life. How can you build a visual library to be able to draw those things?
You mean kind of robots and stuff? For
example, yeah.
It's basically it's all about it depends of brief. What you've got in brief. So, for example, if you have something like I don't know, if you have something like it's a robot killer, and or this is like ultimate weapon or something. So you can start to search for that, for ultimate weapon, and then you've got like on the top of this brief, you've got like instructions. Like for example, he must be looking like a human, or he's not looking like a human. He's looking like a machine. So you just like do this kind of stuff and then looking for some mechanical thingies and
So do you think it's good to get inspired at this point, get inspired by other concept art, or would you say like no, maybe go back to the basics and look at real machines like, I don't know, car factories and things like that?
It's depend what is you it depends what I think it's how you use the references.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you can be inspired by other artists, but you can use his idea, because his idea is kind of unique, and if you repeat this idea, is not what you do is not unique anymore. So it's kind of yeah, tricky. So you need to be, if you use some other artist idea, you can you need to be kind of careful in the first place, and then it's again depends how strong this idea. For example, if you use like some kind of robot, very unique. For example, if you use alien design in your film, and it's exactly looks like alien from Alien movie, it's everybody. It's like if it's not Alien movie, it's like what the hell? What's going on here? You know what I mean? But if you use alien, if this alien inspires somehow on alien look, but it looks totally different, different feel. So it's
So yeah, it's basically your responsibility as an artist to interpret your references and not blindly copy them. And this counts for both, you know, real-world references like photographs or visiting museums or whatever, and looking at existing art.
Yeah, exactly.
What about being inspired by some documentaries or albums, old albums, old books, or even just the books, reading them? It's like, do you find it influential and you try to be inspired by it if you somehow work for yourself maybe, or even in the movie industry, you find the inspiration in other sources like the documentaries or just books?
Yeah, I think his books is it's a very important. The books those days is it's very. We are still using it. I was doing some work recently, and I think I can tell it's not like a big secret. It's a costume designer. I work with costume designer, and she used me she showed me some references from books, and she's got some nice kind of nice book of old costume design. Sorry, old costumes, like which is, for example, some old era of it's very difficult to find in internet.
Yeah, that's what I found as well. That people think, okay, you can find everything on Google and on the internet, but some books are just invaluable. We were doing some medieval-related stuff recently, and I got this book. Well, I didn't get it. Someone in the art department, our boss, got it, about medieval architecture. And it's a fat book, like it's this fat, but it's just everything in one place, you know, and high quality and texts. And you can do it. It's invaluable, really.
Yeah.
It's a matter of content. To be fair, it's some of people that think that if they get that book with pictures, for instance, it's very valuable for them. But I think personally, the most important books, if you want to be influenced or inspired, is like the books without the pictures. So the content text, like the way it was written, and overall the content is the most important, and it's just can grow your imagination and create the pictures in your mind. Because if you see something that was created by someone, it's already done, and you can also make a reproduction or make another version that is similar to it and even better, but it's still kind of reinterpretation, I guess.
Yeah. I think it's when you every time when we do work at when I used to be work at MPC and then Frame Store, every time when I'm thinking like, oh, that could be easy because I've done already. It's never been easy, and it's always different, and always even on the beginner, if like thinking like, oh cool, we can use this smoke from this kind of show, or we try kind of adjust this smoke from this show, and it's never ending like that. It's always was new effect and new something new, and you know.
Yeah, but it's also about being able, because it's new, but usually what the new thing is still a cocktail of other things that are not new. And I mean, this applies to everything really. If you look at fashion or any type of design or whatever, we're always remixing things that we sort of already know or into something new. I mean, and it's how you mix those things, how you do the juxtaposition. Even though I hate that word, that's how that's going to decide how original your idea is. Like how far you are able to deviate from things we already know, and try to find a balance between being original but also being unoriginal, in that sense that we still have to be able to identify with what we're seeing. It can't be too far off, or people are just going to think like, wow, is this like some drug trip or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you always got to, I think, find a balance between those two.
Yeah, because it's sometimes we can also see some of the great guys that make a lot of beautiful rendering style, but the ideas aren't maybe that good, because maybe they don't even try to make something more innovative or something.
Yeah.
And the way you start it is also important, as we talked today with Jonas. The ideas are also very important, not only the executions itself. So.
Yeah. I think it's when you idea is the most important thing actually. So without idea, you never create anything basically. So it's an idea. It's when you read script or something, you already can feel idea and what's happening and what's going on and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's an important ability, just the power of imagination. I think that's what can make you a really good artist. Like you say, some people will read a script and they will just see everything already in front of their eyes. And other people will read it and they won't know what it is until they see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know any tips on how to increase imaginative power. I don't know if that's really possible or not.
Yeah, it's a matter of personality, I guess.
Yeah.
So I can hear what you say.
Sorry, did we drop out?
I don't know. Can you see me or not?
Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah, we can see you. Yeah.
I just the last phrase I can hear what Darek said.
Oh, okay. He said it depends on the person, the imagination. Like some people are just more, imaginative than others, I guess.
Oh yeah. Maybe this is the case. Yes.
Yeah, there are some points that they can't be trained, but they can be improved, I guess.
Yeah, and I think your visual library is very important as well, because if you've seen a lot of things in your life and you have a strong visual library, then your imagination will just draw things from there and sort of together into something.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we can see it from the experience at the beginning. If we didn't see that much in the past, and we were thinking that we will not have the idea. Maybe I'm just telling about myself right now. And if I made a lot of research and started gathering the references, it immediately just created everything in my mind. And even if there are some periods that you feel burnout or something, you know that it will go away and you will have the ideas again. So
yeah.
It's it's quite it's interesting. Like it's happening basically. What sometimes you are walking around something and you can kind of imagine, and then you just suddenly know what to do, and you're doing some images or something, some stuff.
Yeah, I have that a lot with things that are outside of the comfort zone. I did some work for commercials. I did this thing for Nike for the World Cup. I think they're going to show it soon. which was really abstract. And when I was reading the brief, I was just like, I had no idea. And I don't know, Andrei, if you worked at commercials as well, or if you done commercials. But briefs from commercials are like they sound like cheap literature, like cheap cheesy poetry or something. You know?
Oh, really?
We see beautiful blah blah blah, and the viewer is feeling this and feeling that, and I'm like I never felt any of that stuff watching an ad, but okay. But yeah, it was really abstract stuff with like space and just like abstract shapes and micro versus macro. And in the beginning, I just had no idea what to do. But then starting to do research and looking at references, suddenly I got a lot of ideas, and it was something really out of my comfort zone, But I really enjoyed doing it in the end because I could just do something completely different and just experiment with, weird shapes or textures. A little bit like what you're doing now with this smoke. Just trying something different, Get out of your comfort zone and just try something that you've never done before and just see what comes out,
Yeah, I hope it will be not very boring in the end, because I've got kind of rough idea what it could be feminine person, but then we can do whatever what it's cool from her. She could be a witch, she could be something, or fairy or something. So
yeah, just go with the flow. I mean, if you're having fun, that's the most important thing, and it already looks really interesting. I'm actually already really interested what's going to come out, because yeah, it's cool that you're mixing very abstract shapes and textures with character. And
yeah,
interesting.
It's a matter of making the step forward. Sometimes people are afraid of going out from their comfort zone, but if they like, as you guys said, it's like if you make one step and you can find the new world that inspires you, so it's amazing. Just try it. So.
Yeah, it's I use sometimes, like I like using the organic kind of shapes, because when you create some, not robot of course, but yeah, sometimes even robots, you can, if you do symmetrical organic shapes, it could be like a robot or something.
Yeah.
But this way what I'm doing right now is not really the way what I'm working normally. So it's just one of the approaches which is I quite like sometimes to do this kind of stuff, because it's give you some interesting opportunities to create some interesting shapes and interesting.
So it's more about the shape exploration than the actual character right now, just trying to come up with unique shapes and stuff.
Yeah, maybe I do some little bit, because it's the character design is quite it's very interesting aspect of design, because it's I mean, it's just interesting. So I work on the character design quite a lot. So I've done I show these films what I work used to be in Russia, and I think it's the character design is quite tricky and always challenging, because you you need to create something new all the time, and especially female characters is quite difficult. It's never be like easy from first touch. You just create something like really unique, and everybody is happy, because it's always like something like, oh, we saw that, or oh no she's too ugly, or oh no, and this everyone is every person, especially men, they have their own kind of way of beautiness, so it's quite tricky.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I work on some characters, for example, Saint. So, which is very it's very difficult to create some Saint. What is sound? there's some odd sound there.
So can you roughly tell what you are doing right now is like getting the textures together and finding the interesting details and removing the parts that you don't want to use?
Yeah, I just adjust this, and then I think it's kind of like, well, I can add this on the top of the person, like that, and this could be already looks like a dress or something, like open,
Yes.
maybe, or some flesh or something. But yeah, I'm still try to find something.
So you are experimenting right now, and you don't bother about it. So feel
Yeah.
free to.
Yeah, I'm experimenting, and maybe this is slightly big, so I just do slightly smaller. And so if you see this circle in the middle, it looks like it could be like inside the body, something.
Yeah.
So and I find this quite cool. At the same time, maybe I just keep this smoke on the top. It looks like a fabric. So it's at the same time. So yeah.
So you can start whatever technique you want. It's up just the matter of the day you do something, or because as far as we know, you don't have the one workflow, right? You start with different things like photo brushing and painting only and sketching on with the pencil, and
Yeah.
it's a matter of experimenting for you, and you always play with it, right? To just make a good results.
Yeah, sometimes I'm starting like sometimes I'm starting a simple pencil drawing. Like for example, I got like V from production designer. He said like, Andrei, first day we need this character in pencil drawings, literally. And he is he is a present day drawing with pencils. He happy and he do it on the paper with pencils. I didn't do on the paper with pencils, but I did drawings looking like a pencil on the computer, and sent him like this was my first approach. Why is a pencil drawing? It basically when you draw this rough sketches, we call it, we can always like don't bother about the final study of this. We're thinking about the first idea of coming out first, and then we can finish it in photoreal or just finish in painting or whatever we can do. So yeah, this is important thing to do.
Yeah, it's just that a lot of people, definitely I think when you're young and you want to impress the client, you want to make your beautiful illustration and really rendered, but any client who knows what he's doing is able to read good design over good rendering, and the idea is much more important. So if you're able to get 10 ideas out in pencil sketches or only one idea out fully rendered, then you're better off getting 10 pencil sketches, because maybe your one rendered image is not going to be what they want, and you're actually limiting your capabilities. So it's really important. Yeah.
It's important when you it's not important and very important at the same time. It's up to people who involved in what's happening. But when you do the character, for example, creature or any first idea, you do at least 5 interesting ideas, because it's the 3 is not enough sometimes. If it's big character or something big in film, it's normally it's better if it will be like 5 ideas at least, and then maybe 5-7 ideas. So when you show you draw a robot and you show the robot, and it must be, because on the beginning you don't know how is it strong robot or small or big or fat or slim or lanky. So you do you do first approach, and then then you defined your ideas. So from after the, for example, you've got like the how you start the work. First day you've got brief. You go to internet and spend 2 hours or 3 hours or half day in internet to look in some references or something would inspire you to create this character or creature. Then you another half day you do this 7 or 8 quick sketches, some different design. You try covering everything what is in your mind. It's very important to do that. And then when you've done this 8 sketches, next day normally it's brainstorm or whatever supervisor decided or director or production designer. So they allow you to tidying up like 5 best sketches, for example. They said, oh, can you just tidying up this and tidying up this and tidying up this? So you spend another half day just like quickly look these sketches, less rough is, and move them towards the finishing look. And after that, you send it to client, director, or producers who decided what is which approach is important or which approach is working. And you start to do this when they give you feedback. You start to finish your drawings. You add some photoreal background and make it look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it shows that basically the idea is the most important, and we repeat it again. I also had some experience with working for the game dev company, and firstly it was like 2 or 3 months ago when I was more like an illustrator, and I've tried to make a pretty nice looking images, but it turned out, and I was really, aware. I started being aware that it's not the right way, because the most important is to depict the good ideas over the rendering style. And then if you have the ability to put something more like good rendering, is good for you, but the good rendering will not be over the concept itself in the concept art industry. Never. So
no, it saves a bad idea.
Yeah.
So I'm keep doing this thrush and some stuff, and just.
So yeah, how about the switching from black and white to colors? Do you have any, do you have one workflow for it, or you still also experimenting like the design, and you will see how it looks in the air or while in the progress?
It's again, it depends from what I'm using. If I use, for example, references, which kind of references I use? If I use some small photo reference, and the character, for example, some female in a beautiful light, and I need to create some beautiful female image. So I can use as a color palette of this photo and literally color pick and create some image of beautiful lady based on a photo reference, because it's a good image. So I can, in this way, I can start using color straight away.
And,
yeah,
sorry, keep going.
And yeah, that's what I try to say.
There's a question from someone who's wondering if your background within animation and working with cells, if that helped you understand, if that helped you getting a better insight into digital work with the whole sort of layering system.
I don't really know. It's actually I didn't think this way. I think it's all about the person who use it. I think it's
Okay.
not necessarily. I definitely what I know that the animation improved my drawing skills a lot, because my daily job was drawing. When I create character, I draw on a paper and then I clean up using this semi-transparent paper. Clean up characters, and sometimes you just stuck on something, like you can't draw the hand properly, and it looks like not really organic or not really realistic or something. So you just like draw and redraw and redraw. You can sometimes redraw one picture like 7, 8 times or 10 times, and I give you like opportunity to give you opportunity to work hard and understand some things better than you just drawing on Photoshop and just threw layers away.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is, I mean, we're always talking about mileage, about the amount of hours that you have to draw before you get good at it, no matter who you are. And I think, yeah, in animation, you're just forced to draw so much that you get that mileage, basically, because you have to draw so many poses and so many, different drawings. I remember my last film when I graduated, the pile of drawings that I made was taller than me. And it was a 6.5-minute film. It was 12,000 frames or something. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. How you finish your how you do your film? Like.
You mean the technique, or?
Yeah, I mean everything is quite interesting. Like what you.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was studying animation, we were actually sort of on a tipping point, where traditional animation was actually already dying out. So this is after Pixar movies and stuff started coming out. I think I started in 2004 or something, animation. But yeah, like I said, we were still drawing on paper and scanning stuff. And I was always really into traditional animation. I always loved Disney movies when I was younger. And then in my teenage years, I discovered like Miyazaki films and Eastern animation. And yeah, so I always loved it, and I always wanted to stick to that. And I agree with you that you learn a lot actually from doing animation, not only to draw, but I feel like for me the best thing, because it never really helped me in becoming a concept artist. Like I don't feel like the things I learned helped me become a concept artist, because when I graduated, I could not do concept art. I could draw frames, but I could not do like complicated environment pieces or anything like that. But what did help me is just understanding how film works. Because animation film and live action film is the same in many ways, despite the fact that you draw frames instead of shoot them with a camera. All the rest is the same. You've got your character development, you've got your storyline, you've got your visual storytelling, you've got sound and music, and you've got all these factors that you learn about, which can really help you if you work in a film pipeline and not just be stuck in a bubble only knowing how to draw pretty pictures. Being able to understand the bigger picture is always beneficial in any craft that you do, I think. I got a little sidetracked there, but yeah, I guess they're valid points. But so you were asking, my final film was 2D traditional drawn animation. I did some cutout stuff, like South Parky stuff, and some what's it called? Motion. What's the word? Stop motion. Some stuff like that. But I always loved like drawing traditional animation, and I used like very basic 3D. It was just sort of coming up. It was in After Effects. You could put stuff on cards, and you do stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't just coming up. I remember watching an animation called Memories. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Memories? No. Maybe I've seen it, but I can't remember the name.
It's really good. I would really recommend it. I think it's from '95 or something, and it's from Otomo, who did Akira. So it's a Japanese film. but he was experimenting with new digital techniques, but still trying to make it look traditional. So not trying to get that ugly 3D look that you would see a lot. You know, they wouldn't use any rendered things in their animations, but they would put stuff on cards and then use 3D cameras. So it's, you know, you get that sort of 2.5D effect. But it was really nice. Yeah, it was really interesting. I tried experimenting with that a lot, and it does, you know, all these things help you get knowledge that that helps you out later on in life. You know, you don't realize it, but everything that you process in life, not only in the artistic field, but, you know, like we've talked about traveling a lot, the importance of traveling, looking at the world, looking at, you know, landscapes. These are all things that help you build, you know, your brain to something that's rich and full of information, and then you have to take all that information and stick it into your painting.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the key.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry for the long rant.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Great.
I just do this silhouette stuff and listening to you.
There are some questions on the chat. Maybe I will try to take care of them. It's interesting one. When do you do concept art? You are making design and not illustration. Does that mean your perspective and lighting doesn't have to be perfectly correct? What do you think, guys?
It must be readable first. Any idea what you create, it must be readable. So in the concept artist must be very good draftsman who draw in very good, and when you draw some, it depends of person who work with you. Some people, for example, let you to draw sketchy kind of very sketchy style, and they accept this sketchiness because they saw idea, they read idea, and they're happy with that. Some people look different. They want some final look, and they want it must be as much as it's detailed and finished looking. So yeah, it's like that. If you
we talked about this last week as well. It's knowing your client and knowing when to do what is very important. That's why it's good to have, like Andrei has a lot of different techniques, and I'm sure that you pick the right technique depending on the job. Like you see job and you're like, okay, I think, you know, for my best judgment, this is how I'm going to approach it based on the speed that technique, the speed, the result, and what your client wants to see. Those three things basically.
Yeah, if they see your work on your portfolio or somewhere, they probably will just point out that the technique or the style they want to get from you, because they based on what you have on your portfolio, and then they can send you, you know, the example of it and show the style of, you know, the overall polishment and everything that they need to get, you know, everything done. So
yeah. That is the same time is it's quite often it's more important to deliver sometimes. So when you working on something, and it could be like, you know, like sketchy or not sketchy, but if they ask you to finish it and you able to finish it, it's important to be artists like that, should be artists who can finish the sketchy drawing, because sometimes the artists sometimes are very talented, very good, but they can't, they have no ability to finish painting quickly. They can stuck. They've done first round very good, like the picture looks beautiful and nice color palette, design nice, and then they said like to you, okay, finish it, and he's stuck, and he just started to do details, and he's doing some details very slowly, and he don't know how to finish it at in a quick time. So he's that's the other problem sometimes happening with younger artists normally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's being professional and learning how to be professional.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, exactly.
So there is a question to you guys. If someone is applying to job, what are the most common reasons concept artist portfolios get rejected? I think that we covered it somehow or some part, but maybe you have another point of that question.
When you apply a portfolio or what?
Yeah, if someone is applying for a job, and what are the most common things that why it's rejected from the art directors or other guys that are get hired?
The best way when you create your portfolio, the best way is to make to put everything what you strong with. For example, you are environment artist, just put the best environment pieces what you've done, and not necessarily much. It's for example, like if for portfolio, I think it's sometimes it's seven pieces is enough, or seven sheets of 10 is it's already like probably too much for my view, because when you look at an artist, you kind of free to understand what's going on. Sometimes you need to see experience as well. For example, you see the pictures and you're thinking, oh wow, how old is he? And you just look like 23, and you're thinking, oh my god, he's just like genius. But then you realize he's working like in art department with some famous art director, and an art director just literally push his art on a different level. But without art director, he can't do like he can't deliver some quick stuff. He can make some other things. So it's yeah, when you do portfolio, best is best put your best.
So basically, it's like the showing the strongest point of your artistic workflow or just your works. But I also think that the being various is also very important, right? And showing the different things that you can do, not only one thing, but it's also good if you are, very strong in one thing, but it also shows that you from the better way that you can create more things even in the same time, like environment, character, and the design itself. So
I think it's in this cases, I think it's if you like true various, sometimes the people I wouldn't say don't like it, but they kind of look at you with careful kind of way of, because it's but if you versatile in programs you use. For example, you're writing like, I'm Photoshop artist. I'm working like my best my goal is environment or character design, and then you said like, oh, and I also can use 3D, and I know these programs, and this is in the present day is a goal. It's very, very good if you're able to use 3D and use some other programs. Like for example, I'm not using never use 3D programs, so I'm kind of limited in this case. But the younger artists, they can do something very quickly in 3D, like quick something.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree and I don't agree. I think versatility is important, but like Andrei's saying, like you don't want to be a master of nothing. If you're versatile, make sure that the things that you show you're versatile in, that you're very good at them. If you're a master at something, at several things, then people will take it, I think. If you're so on several things, then maybe you should focus on one thing and just try to stand out really in one thing. But I think as a concept artist, you need to be versatile to some extent, and in the themes, and definitely, like Andrei is saying, in the tools that you're able to use. Because if you do concept art in films and stuff, for example, you never know what you're gonna get, and it can really change. You know, maybe one day you're gonna do you know, graphics or UI design. The other day you may be doing keyframes. The other day, you know, suddenly you'll get a 3D model and you have to do something with that. So in that case, it's good to be able to do a lot of things.
Yeah. What I mean, basically, it was like being prepared for everything, like you said, is important, but also the showing the the most strongest part of your portfolio is the most essential. But
yeah. That's what I mean. I mean, it's I kind of, that's in a way of you selling your art as an artist, and so you can say, like, for example, you're great in this case, but sometimes I do some character design as well, or environment pieces or storyboard, and you show pieces of storyboard which is very, very cool, and the people thinking, oh yeah, he's not just only environment artist, he's doing some cool storyboard and maybe even character design or something.
Okay, cool.
I think I finished a quick overpaint, so if you guys don't mind, maybe I can talk a couple of minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
So you want me to share your screen?
Yeah, just give me a minute.
Okay.
Yep.
Screen is on yours.
Okay, so today I picked a work from David Lenormand, and I saw it and I thought it was pretty good. I mean, like the composition is pretty cool. There's a lot of detail everywhere, and the eye isn't really focused, but the general composition and idea are, I think, pretty good and have some potential. But immediately I noticed a bunch of issues with this piece that just stuck out. And first of all, if I look at the navigator, I'm not sure what I'm looking at. And like Andrei was saying before, the most important thing is that you know how to convey your idea very quickly. You have to be able to read the image very quickly. A big part of our jobs is making an image as readable as possible by all these tricks and techniques that we apply just to make you understand and see it at every size and in a blink of an eye. So I turn on a value check later, and then you see immediately what's wrong. The values are just all over the place, and not very consistent, and just kind of weird. So the overpaint's pretty rough, but this is basically what I did, and it's just to make the whole thing readable. And even though I didn't really change that much, definitely in the thumbnail you can just see that the image reads a lot better, and there's more unified lighting going on. So I'll just quickly take you through the layers, what I did to change this image. So first of all, I cut out the guy, and I started relighting the guy completely because he was just flat all over. You can see that he's just pumping out, and his white on his coat is so bright. But I don't think that white would be much brighter than snow. But if I look at the value, you can see that this is pure white, and this is like almost in the mid-range. So that's not good. So that's the first thing that I changed. Is that, and then the second thing is in the background. Just get rid of some of the detail because there's just snow everywhere, and my eye is just going like, whoa, what should I look at? Snow and little particles. So I just basically vignetted it a little bit and hid some particles in the sort of snow dust or whatever this would be, and darken it a bit in some places so that your eye has a little bit more rest areas. And then I did a lighting layer to bring out some highlights on the snow.
I think that is some strange things with your connection, man.
That's
different sounds. And
that noise is not coming from me.
oh, okay.
Okay, I think Yeah. All right. It's
Yeah,
fine.
perfect. Yeah,
Uh,
it's the most important, like the consistency, right, in the picture, because you made it more consistent, and the thumbnail
yeah.
is much more readable right now.
Yeah. Just you need to clear some areas and then emphasize some areas. So what does this picture have? It has rocks and a dude. Your dude is focal point number 1, and your background rocks are sort of point number 2. But
Hmm.
your eye is just your eye just
Yeah,
goes crazy.
running
So
around.
yeah, I threw a little bit of light here on this rock, and then cleaned up the ground a little bit. Some more vignetting to put more of a sort of diagonal focus, diagonal shape into the image, and then I just did a light layer on top, just to give some volumetric light, because I think you would get a lot of, if there's so much snow dust in the air, you would get a bit of glow. And yeah, so that's basically it. And now the last thing that I would do to make the character stand out is work on these here. He's got glowing eyes, and it's very cool, but an object that is glowing is not readable as glowing if it's got no dark background to glow against. So that's something that you need to remember. If you put on a light in broad daylight, no one's going to see the light properly because there's all this other light canceling it out. So now that my dude is a little bit darker, I could probably even make him like a tiny bit darker. Now it's actually going to work to give him these bright eyes, because there's a dark value to read it against. See, like these are pretty dark. So now I can just pick a color. I'll just pick a dark saturated color, and now I can maybe take another brush.
So you also get rid of the line art that was really distracting the kind of realistic way that it was done, the background, right?
Yeah. I didn't get rid of it completely, but yeah, it does always feel weird when you have line art against a painted.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're going for a traditional animation look, then that's how it would look. But I don't think that was the case here, and I think it made the piece a bit confusing. So yeah, I tried to get rid of that, and now we can, nicely make the eyes glow, and maybe just add a few small highlights here and there. And now those eyes actually read much better as being glowing, and it focuses your eye better. Obviously, this piece still needs a lot of work, but I hope that David, got something out of it.
Cool, man.
Okay, so you can switch back to Andrei now.
Thanks. Okay, go back to Andrei.
I just try to basically what I'm doing. I'm kind of I threw the some textures and stuff, and now I kind of try to put this all together. It might make it looks cool. So I'm not sure that I'm finishing it today, but on this session. But I kind of try to show the way, like everyone can work, and use some ideas. Sometimes it gives you some opportunity to create something cool.
I like the way you're experimenting with the textures, and you try to find the texture that match themselves, right? Like the bones from the X-ray view, and then it's like surface waves and waters, right? As I can see in your screen right now, and
Yeah.
it looks pretty
Like
similar. And
looking at patterns rather than looking at a visual pattern rather than what the actual image is.
yeah, exactly. It's make a consistent picture, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, are you here, Andrei?
Yeah. I'm just I just try to slightly bit concentrate and
Okay.
just on something.
Okay. No worries. But yeah, I think it's a very interesting thing to talk about, how you are using these kind of images to create unique textures. It's all about how you look at the world and understand how shapes come back and repeat in different patterns. I always find it interesting when I'm in a plane. I usually try to get a seat by the window so I can look outside and marvel at the world.
Yeah.
Is how patterns that you see on the earth are so similar to smaller patterns that you see. Like a lot of riverbeds look like veins, and all these kind of things that come back. A lot of fractal shapes that you see that in big scale and in small scale. And it's about playing with these things and trying to incorporate them into your designs in a unique way, because there's so much cool inspiration in the world that if you look at it, you might not think that you would be able to use it, but it's just in the way that you use it. Like you are doing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Jonas, maybe we can talk about the contest of Level Up.
Yeah, let's do that. So, last week we opened, we started accepting donations from you guys for Level Up, which is really nice of you. Maybe can you just, maybe we just redirect people to the website. So if you go to fusroda.com, our website, you can donate to this cause at the bottom. And this money will actually return to all of you because we don't want it. We don't want your dirty money. So
yeah, you can see my screen that is located in here. So it's only up to you if you want to support it or not.
There's absolutely no obligation. We will continue to do this for free. Don't worry. But basically, with the money that we're getting, we want to do contests and buy prizes. And so we got a bit of money last week, and so we're doing a contest now. And this contest, the prizes are going to be art books. So maybe Darek,
maybe I can show it.
Yeah, can you show the books that we're going to give to the winners?
Give me a second.
Oh man, who's that handsome guy? Okay, so we are giving away 3 art books. I have looked through all of these art books. They're amazing. That's why I picked them. We don't want to put one winner over the other. So we're not saying that the Last of Us art book is better than How to Train Your Dragon art book. They're all equally cool. Trust us. We just want to give 3 prizes away. But they're all actually nice books, and they all cost around the same amount of money. So if you're a winner, you're a winner anyway. So the first one is The Last of Us. Beautiful game, came out last year on PlayStation. Is coming out again, remastered on PS4 and Xbox One, I think. Beautiful, beautiful book. The one thing that I have to say to the person, whoever published this book, which made me a little bit mad, is that the artists are not credited underneath the drawings. I was looking for Maci's name in the book, and I could not find it anywhere in the book. I don't know why they didn't, because this book is made by the artists, because the illustrations inside are just stunning. Then the Assassin's Creed Black Flag book, again, beautiful, beautiful paintings. Rafael Lacoste and all the other guys that work at Ubisoft, beautiful stuff. Credits for the artists under every painting, so that's good. So yeah, another amazing book. And then the third one is the How to Train Your Dragon art book, which is also a lovely book. It's one of my favorite DreamWorks animations, actually. I think it's one of the best ones that they've done. And it has some backstory of how the story came to be, about the writer of the original book, and etc. And then it just has stunning paintings, really, really beautiful, because it's quite stylized, a lot of the work, but it's still just really good. Like, it's just a really good book to learn about simplicity and detail at the same time, like how to achieve beautiful things, but with a certain amount of simplicity. The landscape stuff in there is just amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, all 3 books are very, very, very nice. Okay, so now the contest, Darek.
Yeah, basically, some of the people are asking how it will be divided with the prizes or the winners, how we pick them up. It's basically it's not about you know, we are thinking about doing mm, some maybe divisions of the quality of work, because we already know that some of the guys in the group can post amazing pictures, but we also need to uh, put them some focus on the guys that have the ideas. So we will be voting, three of us will be voting for our favorites, and we will try to make the generous based on the concepts, on the quality of the works, and overall sticking to the subject we will take up for the contest. So we want to make it fair. We want to everyone will be enjoy it, and we hope it's the first time that we do, and it can be a bit hard at the beginning, but we want it very cool, and you know, not to hurt anyone. So what I think is the most important is just the picking up the three winners, not basing on one thing like the quality of work, but also the concepts and sticking to the subject.
Yeah,
I
so
think we can announce it maybe on the subject we will announce on the Level Up group
yeah,
and on our walls
yeah,
tomorrow or something. And we also put the deadline on it because we want to give you as much time as maybe not as much time, but we want to give you a time because it's the first time. So we want to gather a lot of people, but it's up to you if you participate or not. So
yeah. But
not
so basically, the thing that is very important that you should know is that we will be giving grades on the work, but it will not be impossible for you to win if you're not the best digital painter. Obviously, technical skill is important, and we will grade it, but we will also grade you on your originality, your design ideas, and your sticking to the theme, your interpretation of the theme,
yeah.
and other things that do not need beautiful rendering. We are able to see a good idea without a beautiful rendering. So if you get high scores in those, but your rendering is not that great, you can still win. So don't be scared that like, oh, I'm not good enough. You can win. It's very hard for us to make this fair, but we're going to really try our best to not
Yeah, that's what we thought, that we can vote three of us, because I'm sure that every of us has a different suggestion of the winners, but we encourage you to start it with it because we've seen a lot of very cool ideas in our group, and we see a lot of amazing arts every day. So if you can compound it or somehow or connect the idea with the execution, is the best way. So just we encourage everyone to participate, and we will announce the more details pretty soon after the session, maybe, or tomorrow.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it.
So yeah, we hope you guys join, and it should be fun. And if it goes well, we'll do more. And as we get more donations, the prizes will become more valuable as well. We already have some ideas for future prizes, which one of them will include a trip to another country. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
So not to tell anymore.
Oh, and by the way, one more thing that I'm sure some people are wondering about the postage costs, the delivery costs. Don't worry, wherever you live in the world, even if you live in Timbuktu, we will send it to you, and the costs are on us. So
Yeah,
you
of
don't have
course.
to worry about it. We will figure it out with the winners. Because we will buy these from websites, and if you're located in the States, then we will get them on Amazon States, or if you're located in Europe, we'll get it here, so that the costs are not too high. But
Yeah,
don't
so
worry.
so no need to bother, just join us and participate in that contest.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so go back to the Andrew screen right now.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing at the moment. Is just like try to in a stress situation kind of try to make it look cool. So basically, that's what I'm doing at the moment. And normally I add some noise, some particles, some smoke, or something. And So now I just try to find some other references, different stuff. Oh, maybe I pick this one. This is a great photo, but it's very noisy. So, and I want a little bit of noise, of those noise.
And so this is just all images that you gathered over the years, or through projects, or?
Sometimes when you're looking on images, searching for images, you can find something interesting, something totally different what you're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
And you can go through because it's their anomalies, they're quite cool, and you're thinking if you're not saving them now, you forgot them, and it's probably never saw them again, because sometimes you type in like pink ball, and then it's totally different. It's not pink ball. It's just like, you know, black and white beautiful photo somehow happening. So it's yeah, I do sometimes save some references, which could be handy in the future, and I just keep them as an inspiration or something.
Yeah, we've said this many times, but it's just very important to build your reference library. It can save you a lot of time in the future when you've collected stuff. Just keep it and organize it so that later you never know, you might be able to use something again, or something that you found but you haven't used it, and suddenly you get a job and you're like, oh, okay, now I can use it. Keep that stuff. This is if you don't have time. I mean, it's always good if you have time to just go online and look at new things. But I think it's definitely also good to have your own library so that you can quickly do stuff as well. Yeah,
I agree. It's important to create your library. I've got sometimes I've got like I use one smoke, which I use all the time because it's a great smoke.
Yeah.
It's every time when I just put is the right amount of grains in there, is the right kind of smoke, and I always can build on this smoke some texture even. So it's really important to build your stuff, and when you know how it's working for the Photoshop. So,
Andrei, there are some questions to you.
Yeah.
Can you name a few artists that inspire you or inspired you at the beginning, or still inspire you?
I really there's some contemporary artists as well, but I'm really inspired by old masters.
Yeah.
I think they are the best in the way of they're just best basically. So when you
end of story.
Yesterday I looking for something, and I found pre-Raphaelites.
Pre-Raphaelites, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's so beautiful. I mean, in a way, they look modern basically. They look modern, and models looks great, and the theme. I think lots of using pre-Raphaelites using in fashion design, especially 5-6 years ago. I can see lots of images of using this. You can see inspiration from who, and yeah, that's quite. I like one of my favorite Russian artists is Ripin. Ripin is very powerful.
Yeah, of course.
Very strong master. The characters you can see, like you can smell him from the distance. They're just so powerful, so strong. And he wasn't like really finished looking. They quite they're quite not sketchy. I wouldn't say sketchy. The technique, his technique is quite looks rough. All of the brush strokes.
Yeah, it looks like a loosey and very natural way of they're moving their hand on the canvas.
Yeah. So he's and then I like Arhip Kuinji, if you know guys. He did very beautiful landscapes, and his color palette was and composition was quite unique and interesting, and he was like stand out from painters those days. I heard even story he paints some like moon on the Dnieper. River, and the people thinking like they put some lamp behind the painting because it was he used some his own kind of paint, and he sometimes add some phosphoric kind of elements in his paintings. So yeah, okay. And the other one is I really like Vrubil. Vrubil is he was
Rubin, right? Rubin, right?
No, Vrubil is V-R-B.
Okay. Rubin, right?
Vrubil. Yeah, maybe later at the end of the session you can write down some names.
Yeah, and we can share it on Level Up group on.
Yeah. I can do that. So it's this. He was very. He was a very interesting painter. He's got something kind of. He's got pain in his paintings. Somehow you can feel like something wrong. Something like It's beautiful and at the same time it's very striking. Somehow he was very unique in this way. And you can continue this list of amazing artists and painters. It's
Yeah, I just got recently into Russian landscape painters, and it just blew my mind how many talent. It's one of those countries that really pisses me off how many talented people there are. I don't know why, but there's just some
kinds.
It's like some countries just shit out amazing talent all the time, and then a lot of countries you don't hear anything about. I don't know if it's a cultural thing or if it starts and then people motivate others, or if it's just a genetic thing. Like I don't know. But yeah, definitely like Russia.
It's in Russia still it's the very strong school of painters. They call it it's I think it's in St. Petersburg, and its academy is Repin Academy, and it's they are still very they teach in very kind of classical approach of painting and drawing and very academical, and probably this and because it's all of this story of the museums, and we've got like Tretyakovskaya gallery, the only Russian painters in there, and it's amazing. It's when you visit and you're always inspired. You can see lots of nice, beautiful pictures.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Shishkin, another one. I forgot to mention it. Shishkin is he painted landscapes, and particularly he painted very beautiful forests.
Oh yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
I did some studies.
Yeah, he did some forest paintings. It looked like a photo.
Exactly.
They call him like photographer. But at the same time, is one of his famous paintings is the bears, 3 bears in the forest, and is a picture.
Yeah, the lighting is amazing in that picture.
Yeah, and he didn't paint the bears. The bears paint the other artists. I think it was Kramskoy.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah, so Kramskoy painting, and at the same time is one beautiful portrait of Shishkin done by Kramskoy. So it's really nice with the Shishkin with beard, and it's quite
Yeah, because it's interesting. Because I remember when I was looking at those paintings, I was wondering how much is done plein air and how much is done afterwards from imagination or just pure skill. And I guess a lot is actually just not done on location.
Yeah, I think no. I guess it's they do some mood stuff. Normally, they on a location they come and draw quick mood. They do they paint some like spend like an hour, because you can basically you can document, if I can say, like paint 2 hours, because light is changing. So it's you need to be very, very quick, and you need to find some colors and feel of this moment. So that's why they normally paint very quickly, and then and I think winter landscapes, it's very cold, and I don't know how they do that. They probably sitting inside the tent or something, because it's winter in Russia is it's very, very cold sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it also just comes with, experience and becoming good. I mean, I noticed for myself that I'm slowly getting better at getting stuff to look photographic. I mean, I don't do it so much for the stuff I post on Facebook, but some of the stuff I have to do at work has to be really photoreal, but I'm starting from crappy 3D render. And it's all about just really subtle value control, which is very hard, I think. But it's something you learn over time, and where you just see like, okay, this is wrong, and you learn what to do to get it right. Like it's a lot, for example, playing with color temperature, with very subtle values, with grays versus next to saturated colors. All these things are things that you learn very slowly over time. But I think you can do it so much that you almost become like a camera. Like you almost have that ability to see like a camera. If I look at that painting with the bears that you were talking about, if you zoom in, it's actually really rough. The brush strokes are quite rough. It's not like very meticulous with a lot of finesse. It's quite broad and rough and sort of spontaneous brush strokes, but very well placed and very how should I say? It's rough, but it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's like
I know what I mean. It's exactly like in the right place. Everything. It's just
it's like accurate stains, right?
Yeah, it's like a decision, like a very exact decision that is being made with every stroke.
Yes.
Really hard, but which really gives you the most powerful work. Some digital painters are like this, like Sergei Kolosov and some other painters. You can see the same, like simple brush strokes, but very, very accurate.
They are suggesting with the one stroke.
Yeah.
Also comes with experience and the way of trying to accomplish that kind of the strokes, because some of the people like to just paint very, very small stains and then create the seal house from it, but some of the others just use the bigger brush and are aware of what seal house look, and then just make a stain that looks pretty cool and suggesting the right object.
Yeah. It's His experience and understanding of light and everything is quite important, because it's if you know when we do this photoreal stuff, I'm not talking when you just painting, and when you're painting it's easier to build light on your picture. But when you use photos and you need to make it look photoreal, and you need to find some photos which is quite on the same light, and it's very difficult to find the same photo, because all the time each photo is different camera, different angle, different warm temperature, and everything is different, and it's quite challenging to build. That's why we normally we use when we do the kind of master image, like selling image of project or something, we use 3D and 3D is with the source of light, and then we just apply. It's like, yeah, lots of technical things.
Let me check for some questions.
So what you mentioned it, Sergey name. If are you planning to invite him on a level up, or?
Yeah, it would be nice. I've never talked to the guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's in our plans, but we never try it yet.
If you know him, feel free to you know, say a good word about us.
How do you guys deal with the critique from the people that are maybe not that good as you, or overall, how do you deal with the critique? It's one of the questions in our chat.
I don't know. I'm normally not really happy with critique at all, to be honest. And from
no one like it.
You like it from people who non-professionals. I mean, I kind of accept critique from professional people, because when you're working with somebody, and then the person who work with you, and he said like something you need to improve or change, or literally stop doing this kind of concept, pick another idea. And the best way is agree with, not arguing or something. Why? Because it's when you do something, you love it, but it's not necessarily suit to idea of the film. And the guy who judging you on a project normally is know better about this film or about this idea. So that's why his best way is just agree and do not argue. Or if you feel like this is a very strong idea, but you need something to finish it, to sell it, it's just a little bit of time. So you can ask the person, and you can propose, you can push a little bit further this idea. And the professionals normally, if they good, they can allow, they can let you to finish idea or something. But when people non-professional, and they just say something because they don't know the kitchen of the making films, of the making movies, or art department, or supervisor thinking. So they just look at an image and said like something ridiculous. And in this case, I think sometimes is rude, because you didn't ask him to criticize you.
I didn't ask you. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, if I ask somebody like, can you please give me your opinion? I ask you, and I give you permission to tell anything.
Like a boss.
Yes, and if I don't ask you, I think it's impolite to criticize person who did something, and maybe it's not very cool looking to the end of, technically not finished enough. Like I saw some, I wouldn't name it artists and projects, but I saw some guy did some drawings, lots of drawings for creature design, and they was like, technically they look not really finished and not really nice even. But you feel like so many nerves in there, so many ideas in there. So you can feel like, oh my God, it's just like, it's amazing. It's a bunch of ideas straight in one picture, and you can develop this. And in this case, this is important. And the rest of, I think it's, I don't know.
I think it's also important to differ. Is it the constructive critic or not? Because some of the people around us can sometimes have a pretty fresh look on the work that we spend on many hours, and the suggestion they give you it can be very cool even if they are not professional. So I fully agree with you about the word from the professionalists, but also I think sometimes we can consider the critic from the people that are not connected with, not maybe not professionally doing it, but they can see something. Like
Yeah.
I sometimes gather the critic from my girl or my mother and from other people around me, and it really gives the really fresh look at what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Because if I spend a lot of hours on something, sometimes I can't. It's not possible to see all the mistakes. But sometimes in the professional world, it can be really. Um, Sometimes the professionals can also give you the not constructive critic. So it's really up to differing the things that someone is telling you. It's like if you think it's right to you and you can consider it to implement it to your work, it's all right. But if it's not constructive and it's like this says, oh, this is bad, this is fucking awful. It's not like you should consider. So yeah, I agree with that. What about you?
I'm totally agree with you. But I think it's when you when you ask your friends or something, like they're not non-professional, but you feel like something like weird. You can ask them opinion of something, but be careful. This friend could be not the best friend anymore.
Yeah, sometimes they are arguing like, oh no, it's all right. Just don't tell me what I should do. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with Darek, because one thing that I notice is that you don't have to be a good artist to know good art. A lot of people know what they see even without being able to reproduce it. They can tell when something's wrong, and sometimes you actually need an outsider to tell you because you've just been oblivious to it after working so many hours, like Darek says. And this can be professional, but yeah, this can definitely also be an amateur sometimes. But I think the rudeness comes in how you approach giving someone critique. A lot of people are just very bad at giving critique, and if you make a very good image overall, but you see a small mistake, and that's just the one thing that you point out, that's already a little bit rude, because you're disregarding everything that's good and all the effort that has been put in by just
Yeah.
pointing out one little thing. And there's nothing wrong with pointing it out, but like you say, you have to be. You have to show a little bit of respect to an artist, definitely when he's putting out personal work, because we put a lot of time and emotion and a lot of ourselves into it, and we are all very sensitive when it comes to that. There's no denying.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone who says he's not,
Absolutely.
he's lying.
Yeah, it can be something like just, oh, it's bad. It just completely, delete it and start again. If it's constructive, it just can give you the more motivation to, put
Yeah.
the revisions on it. But if
Yeah.
it's done in the wrong way, it can, destroy all the feelings.
Yeah. And that's actually what Level Up is about. The group, we see it every day, which is really nice that people do this.
So, sometimes you do like for example, this one person just creates something like very on the beginning of the stage, and then you just like with your rough critique, you just destroy the whole
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
So you just like, because you are not very kind of
Yeah, sometimes
sensitive.
I'm just in the process of developing the idea, and my girl just came in. It's called like, oh, it's really shitty. You should change it.
Yeah.
And
Why?
I am like, what the hell? I'm just started. So yeah,
It makes you really angry, doesn't it?
yeah,
Sometimes,
Like,
yeah,
shut up, what do
really
you know?
frustrating. Really frustrating.
yeah, sometimes this is just like like somebody's ridiculous joke, and it's affect you as well. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
better to not to do that. And if you criticize people just like ask first, can I say something? And second, do it.
Yeah.
Can I have your permission?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
to be fair, the constructive critique is the big part of our way of, being better. It
Yeah,
helped me a lot in the past, like getting the words from the boards or somewhere. It's not like you get immediately like the comments every time, like awesome and all that stuff. It doesn't, doesn't show you the way you should follow. It's like it's not the constructive one. It's definitely not helpful. Like everyone is praying, just praying at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, let me check for some sessions.
It's more questions. I can.
I'm just checking.
I basically I'm kind of not finished, but I've finished for now. Picture. Yeah. So it's. But if you can criticize me. I am open for this.
Of course, we are professionals. Of course, we can.
Yeah.
We have your permissions. We don't need to ask.
Yeah. You can criticize this, and I think it's what I did looks like some kind of abstract creature, or I don't know. It could be cool for what they call is.
Yeah, but we love it. It's like the kind of experimenting and something that no one did it in the previous session. So it's pretty cool, man.
Heavy metal music or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect for the cover.
Yeah. But but this basically, like, for example, I do sometimes, like when I work for Voldemort Death, I did some image which was far away from very beginner earlier concept, but I love it because they give me opportunity to create further concepts, because it was looked like very illustrative, not like a concept, and I was quite happy with this particular concept. Later on, I used the idea. So this what I try to say, this concept give me freedom. So I feel free when I've done this concept for Voldemort first one. I suddenly feel freedom, and then I started to produce the concepts which they use later in a movie. So it's the same with this one. For example, I did this kind of abstract photo brush, whatever, something. I can spend another hour to draw, define some areas, like maybe add some more face or whatever. And but then after that, maybe I decided, like, oh, this cool effect, and maybe I use it some appearance of character based on this drawing what I did. Sometimes it's happening like that. Like I did some work for X-Men First Class, and supervisor, I show him image, was cheesy, multicolored, but he somehow liked it because he suddenly saw the idea of the image, and then I did some concept, next level kind of concept, which was more photoreal, more realistic, and it was, and they use it in the movie.
Yeah, cool. So you never know.
Never, no. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
I don't know if you're aware of this, Andrei, but your work is all over NPC's walls. I have to look at it every day.
Oh, really?
With a lot of joy. With a lot of joy, granted, but yeah. I think your Voldemort disintegration concept is somewhere on like a nice backlit panel, and then I think a piece that you did for Clash.
All right. Oh yes. When I just about to leave NPC, and they printed and put in boxes with light in behind.
Yeah.
And this is actually quite interesting story, because it's the one I did the Minotaur head, and Minotaur head was exactly behind the door when you come in on the floor where is art department.
Yeah.
It was straight behind the door, the face, and the girls asking to remove it because it was too small for them.
I didn't hear of this. I think it's still there.
Yeah, no, I mean they asking to move from slightly further.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's because it's make them
Uncomfortable.
yes.
Is it happen sometimes that you get the ideas from your real paintings and then try to develop it these days?
Sorry, which ideas I'm not Derek.
Like what you're doing now, like doing something abstract and then putting it into something else. That's
Yeah, or just do you have any previous ones that you developed somehow? Do you, if you have some spare time or something?
I did a couple of times. Like for example, I did something for myself, and then I try to use this idea at work. So I show somebody like art director or production designer or director and said like, look, this is what I've done, and but they never pick it. They kind of said like, oh yeah, that's cool drawing or something, but you know we want something different. I don't know why. It might be maybe it's yeah, maybe that's not good enough. Maybe some other reason. But yeah, I try a couple of times, but never go through further. But sometimes I know the not. I heard some people use my ideas on other shows when I'm not working it. And yeah, it's fine. It's when if I inspire somebody, it's good.
yeah, I agree.
I'm not like person who just like I don't know. I'm very happy if somebody use my ideas and do something with them.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, like egos is one of the most dangerous things in any business, really. So you have to sort of set your ego aside sometimes, and besides, everything you create for a company is theirs anyway. Or everything you create inside a company is theirs. So I think yeah, it's a compliment when someone is using, you know, your work as starting.
Absolutely. I only look on this as a compliment. Not the other kind of way of it. I think it's you're lucky if somebody finds it and somebody adore you. It's very important.
Yeah, wow, really interesting stuff. So if you want, Andrei, we can wrap up soon because we're over the 2 hours already.
Okay.
If please save your PSD without flattening it, and we will put it on the website if you don't mind, because we usually share the demo PSD with the members so they can look through your layers and you know.
Yeah, and if you can also post it on the Level Up event.
Yeah.
Event review. So.
Or we can do it for you as well.
Yeah.
Can I? Yeah. Can I just say? Can I send you images, guys? Because I'm not lazy. I just less. What do you call?
Hungry.
Sometimes I've got like you know like I just set up this. This is not my computer. That's why I'm slightly bit slow. It's a computer of my son. So I'm working on
okay, it's all fine. We can post it, so doesn't matter.
And, yeah, and I will send. And shall I just say bye everyone? Or
yeah, if you want. Maybe one more thing before you leave. We have to ask you a question that we asked.
I forgot about it. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's a very serious question. It's would you rather be Godzilla or a billionaire?
Well, you give me no choice.
Yes, I do. No, billionaire or Godzilla?
I need three options. I don't want to be Godzilla because I want to draw and I think it's Godzilla.
It says Godzilla can't draw. He has hands.
No, he can't draw. But he probably, like you know, if he paints something on the ground, will be nobody alive. So, and I'm not sure that I'm fancy be to billionaire as well because it's I don't mind if I've got like a little bit more money than just I've got right now, but billionaire is I'm not ready to be a billionaire. So give me another option, and I agree with you.
I don't know. You kind of caught us off guard. We don't have
maybe what you are close to choose, like Godzilla or billionaire. It's still the question that, yeah, it can, if you really don't like the billionaire, I think that maybe Godzilla, because
Okay.
lots of people choose the Godzilla at the final. So
Yeah. You don't have to. You don't have to choose.
yeah, of course.
Godzilla is cool. I like Godzilla film, but I prefer to be a human.
Okay.
Okay.
So in this case, I will be billionaire.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So Andrew, thank you very much for your demo and amazing talk about your experience and everything you talk about it today to us, and for being here with us. Yeah, it was pretty cool, and really like the way of you experimenting with the thing that it doesn't matter for you if you use watercolors or just the pencils or the photo brushing. It's still amazing, and yeah, we really like it, and we are really pretty happy that you were with us on board today.
Thank you so to having me, and it was very good company. You guys doing fantastic events, and I really appreciate it. And thank you everyone who attend this, and thank you very much.
Yeah, everyone in the chat is saying thanks to you, Andrei. You're awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and sorry, Jonas, for interrupt. Can you, Andrei, show yourself at the final, because we can see your craziness screen right now.
Yeah, I know. I try. Wait. I've got.
You have to unclick the screen sharing again.
Okay. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. And yeah, one more thing, everyone. If you're coming to the workshop in London that I will be a speaker at, Andrei is going to be there as well, and he will give a lecture as well. So, if you want to learn more from this very smart and experienced and enlightening man, then come over in August.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's really the guests that we have to thank. We have another guest next week. We will announce him soon. It's probably going to be a 3D artist again, but it will be maybe 3ds Max or Moto or something like that. But we will announce it later. So bye everyone. Thank you, Andrei, and you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.